United States of America, Republic, stand one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Folks, first off, I'd actually like to do a moment of silence for Jan Burwell, who passed away this past week. She gets her services tomorrow. Moment of silence for Jan, long-term, good resident of the town of Inlet. Thank you. Not going to be the same not seeing that light on over there. Yeah. Minutes review. Has everybody had a chance to see the clerk's minutes from the August 10th meeting? Any corrections, deletions, resubmissions? If not, these are the clerk's minutes. That takes us to our first public comment of the evening. Anybody in the public wishing to say anything? Peggy, I see your hand.
Any word on when the Six Lake Dam is going to be worked on?
I believe they're starting it. They're doing it concurrently with the one in Webb, from what I've been told. I know I saw engineers crawling around down around the old Forge Dam the other day. I think they're just still in final prep mode, but it's supposed to be done. Do you have anything?
There's open hearing on our part of it.
Right.
It because of some APA regulations that they're not. So if you go online, you can see what they're discussing. And it's going to put ours back a little bit until they close the public hearing.
Gotcha.
So they're going to put it back. So do you think they'll be starting in the spring?
It depends on this public hearing and what their findings are after they close the meeting.
Do they work in the winter?
No, I don't think so.
In the summer?
Possible.
So that's going to affect a lot of people on 6 and 7.
Didn't they state that the water level wouldn't be affected?
They're building, I believe, like a copper dam
Right.
around it.
I heard the water level wouldn't be affected.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
I think maybe parking will be affected for 6 Lake people.
Right.
And I think maybe docking along the edge there to get people in and out of boats will be affected.
Right.
But until this APA open meeting thing closes.
Okay.
I think once they're under the process, they're going to try and do most of the staging from Bird's property, though, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah.
They'll still have equipment
Yep.
moving
Yep.
on that thing.
Well, I didn't realize they were going to roll it off there like Tim said. So.
Yeah.
So I think the public comment, or the comment section ends tomorrow, October 9th.
And again, the copper dam, that's also going to affect the canoe access. So there's a whole bunch of things in play.
Question is, I wondered if the town board would ever consider doing a senior citizens exemption on property taxes. I know a long time ago, the board decided not to do it. But there's a lot of elderly people that could use the bump by not having to pay the full price of Virginia taxes. And since we have so many more seasonal camps and whatnot, that could help pick up the slack of whatever percentage you decide to do if you decide to do it.
I'm going to look back to you.
A lot of communities have senior exemptions. It's how the town passes the law of what percentage it is. It could be 10%, it could be 50%, it could even be higher. You, as the town, would set perimeters of what. But if we started the process now looking at this, and then I believe planning board is the one that would write it, am I right? And then it would be open meeting. It probably would not be ready by next May when I have to close out the roll. But it is something we could research, and I could give the board some examples of what different towns have done. or the planning board, or you guys both, and you could see if it's something, in larger communities, you know, the pressure, the shortfall is spread, but you have a greater working community usually, not as many seniors. We have a large senior population up here, but a lot of them would not be eligible because this is not their primary residence.
I was going to say there's a bunch of interested. Yes, have to see how it would work out because it's opening the discussion on two different areas. The two most impacted are our seniors and our new homeowners that are hopefully moving in to have kids and populate the school, you know, man the fire station. You know, there are towns struggling, I know, with both ends of it. I know some of the conversations I've heard coming out of Webb with some of the stuff they're trying to do down there, you know, may have an impact on more of the year round or the seasonal property owners picking up more of the heavy load. None of these are easy lifts. Even though you say, you know, we could pass it, I'd like to see some proposals. See some other towns.
It would be able to be in effect for 26,
Right.
possibly 27. But also the lawyers would take a while with
Yeah, the legal review. But it's
everything. We would set
Well,
who's eligible, income limits. But yes, it could put a burden on the younger population, or it
Somebody's
maybe-
picking up the tab.
and that's the thing. There's always a slide. We tried to do something with new homeowners with a couple of years ago, you know, locking in some tax rates, you know, until they could establish themselves. You know, we pitched it, and that would have been 15, 16, 17 years ago, if not longer. And overwhelmingly, the rest of the people in the town said no. I don't think seniors would be the same answer. I would hope not. But again, because again, the primary residence requirement, I think is going to be a high bar for a lot of people to reach.
well, there's a lot of seniors that could use the extra money.
Yep.
Because of, you know, doing fixed income and everything going up so much.
Yes, and I don't. I want to say that I'm interested. I'm not saying this is pointing out a con against it. That the new homeowners that say they're paying a mortgage and the senior citizens have already paid their mortgage off. There's the makeup, but the fixed income of the seniors is the heavy part of that. So I'm very interested. The board would be interested, but we'd have to see what kind of a tax shift it would create, and see what other towns have done, because we're such a small town. So I don't know how many eligible there would be depending on what path we followed. Is that a fair statement? Interested, very interested. Get the board some information if you could, Amy. Okay? Yes. Anybody else in the public?
So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Glenn McGruder. I live on Uncas Road. I've been working on getting the speed reduced on Uncas Road from 55 miles an hour. A little crazy. And I'm sure most of you know that after a year and a half of working on this, the DOT has approved speed to be reduced to 25 miles an hour, and the new signs have been posted. Hoorah. So I wanted to thank all of you for your support, direction, in accomplishing this goal. It'll make the road much safer for pedestrians, hikers, bikers, and homeowners on the Uncas Road. I'd like to say a special thank you to Sean Hansen and his crew. They do an amazing job keeping the road up and well maintained. Sean is always willing to receive questions and quick to respond to solutions with solutions. Communicator. So thank you, Sean. I have a couple questions. You talked about this briefly, Sean, but can we install like the 2 red flags on the speed limit sign? The first sign on Uncas Road.
We can, yep.
And I don't know if we need it up all winter.
No,
You know,
we'll put it up there so it draws attention to the new
Yeah,
sign.
just a little.
Yeah, I know we talked about it and, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't forget about it.
No, that's
So
right.
we'll put a couple up on there.
That'd be awesome.
Yep. So it's, so the sign stands out more. Absolutely.
So, also curious, can the this question, can the Inlet Police Department post radar on the dirt portion?
Post radar or just do radar stuff?
Radar.
Yes, they can do, yes.
On the dirt road?
Only in the inlet section.
Right.
Right.
Whenever we have township, if it crosses over into Long Lake, then no,
Isn't there a section that goes back to Inlet?
there is.
Yeah.
So wherever it's the inlet proper, we can.
So my suggestion, and I don't know who to talk to the police department. But we could have someone, and we could have a posting or shoot radar right at the dirt road and the paved road. Like before it got to the dirt road, you could have an officer post shoot radar. Because I think it would send a message like, oh yeah, speed limit is 25 here. And then maybe do it further down where the other section is. And I don't think it's gotta be a ton, but maybe twice in the summer. I think it would help a ton. It's like set the pace on that road.
We'll talk to Chief Baker and, obviously with the new speed limit, I'm sure he's going to be looking over there anyways. So, yeah, especially with the change, but we'll bring it up with him again.
Be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So thank you again all for your help, because journey, but
Well, persistence pays off. And it wasn't the first time we've asked for that speed study, but I will also point out that there's been a change in the state on local roads and speed limits. With the proliferation of the electric bikes and some high profile accidents that have been happening, and people being run over, it's brought it into the forefront. And DOT, personally, I felt it was way too quick to say no in the past. So at least they listened to a reasonable request this time, but it wouldn't have happened if Sean hadn't put it forward or you hadn't asked again. So persistence pays off.
in conjunction with Long Lake too, because
Yep.
they participated in that as well. So it was a group effort.
So thank you.
Great community.
Anybody else? Public? There's another public comment at the end. Move on with highway.
We haul garbage and recycling. One of our new no motorized vehicles on trail signs has been stolen off Townsend Trail. He has been notified. Like Glenn said, we installed the 25-mile-an-hour signs on Uncas Road. I'd like to thank the town of Long Lake Highway Department for their assistance. Filled in some holes on the Uncas Road gravel section, brush mowed some of the Uncas Road. Picked up Webb fan shell and delivered to Fern Park for Fall Festival and delivered back to Webb. We brush mowed some of the dump road for the town of Long Lake. Hauled remaining gravel from our shop to Moose River Plains. Ditched a section of Uncas Road, pulled some rocks, cleaned up the stump dump, blew leaves off the town Toby Trail and roads in town and the Moose River Plains. Met with DEC about next year's potential projects in the Moose River Plains. Coming up, we're gonna haul garbage and recycling, continue to blow leaves. We're gonna pave the newest section of the town trail because it keeps washing out. We're gonna start getting our plow equipment out and ready to hang on the trucks. I'm still hoping to get that culvert installed on the Uncas Road. We're waiting for permits at the moment. We might have to wait till spring, unfortunately. I want to keep brush mowing on the side of Uncas Road. I'm hoping the county comes down soon with their shoulder machine to put shoulders on the Uncas Road and haul more gravel in for our stockpile. That's all I have for highway.
Any questions of highway? Okay. Transfer recycling.
Transfer stations open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Then 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. closed from 12 to 1 daily for lunch. Starting on November 2nd, we'll be open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Still closed from 12 to 1 daily for lunch and closed on Tuesday and Wednesdays. The building is clean and orderly. And we ask anyone using the stump dump to not mix brush with their loads of stump. We do not accept brush. That's all I have for.
Any questions of transfer recycling? That brings us to Living 80K.
Our Living ADK annual meeting, will be on October 15th at 6 o'clock at View, and then our Tip of the Cap Awards will follow directly thereafter. The public is welcome. We're submitting a grant application to the Community Foundation for more funding for the Senior Weekly Delivered Lunch Program. This program is currently assisting 11 Inlet residents. Interviews for the Community Resource Navigator position is narrowed down to that candidates. We're checking references before making an offer. A task for this new position will be that this new employee would be attending the Hamilton County Cares Committee meetings, which meets monthly. And I think this is a group of Hamilton County resources, whether it's public health and things such as that. So I will look forward to having someone actively participating in that and speaking on behalf of the town of Inlet and Racket Lake. The last day of the farmers market is October 10th. And as a follow-up to last month, we were able to facilitate the Inlet American Legion Post getting an application extension for the ALC grant invitation. And they did notify me that they met the new grant deadline, so they're hopeful that they can get some supportive funding for the gazebo repairs. And then this winter, we will commence advertising to fulfill a vacant position of the farmers market manager and food security program coordinator. So if anybody wants a second job, come see me.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The public hearing has remained open on the Fern Park Master Plan. I think we were looking possibly to close it tonight, Ray. Does anybody, before we take a motion to close the public hearing, have anything to comment on the Fern Park Master Plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Concern with this is the building. And I know it's not set in stone because it depends on how much money you get. But having pickleball and tennis and basketball all in the same building is going to be a problem because of the lines. And initially, we had talked about, a couple of years ago, talked about putting the pickleball outside by where you guys have placed the shed. And you said his shed wasn't set in stone, so that would be the ideal place, because this diagram has 4 pickleball courts. So that means they would have temporary nets, which means if you hit the ball out, it's going into the next person's play, and then it goes into the next person's. So there's issues with that, as well as the lines, like I said, for if you've got 3 different things going on with different lines, it gets confusing.
I think Ray's got an answer for that.
A couple of things. Number one, that was a proposed drawing. There had to be an architect, a park architect hired yet to take all of our needs in play. Where did this?
Right.
And Mighty Lou was put together. Second of all, somebody that has used multi-use facilities with all those lines on them. When you play basketball, you know where the basketball lines are. When you play pickleball, you know where the pickleball is. I understand your concern, but I don't think it's a big issue when it comes down to it, when it starts getting planned. Okay, you actually have the plans put in front of you, and if somebody uses a multi-use facility, it's not that big of a deal.
And
Well,
again,
it is if you've got 8, 10, 12 people playing
You
pickleball.
don't all have it at the same time.
They
There are,
support.
that's a bigger facility.
Well, they get down there.
That's a bigger facility. So you're not necessarily using all at the same time, the same thing. The different facility and how this will be planned out will be different.
and this is indoors, correct?
That's correct.
That was
the
theory, yeah.
Well, this is the theory, but there's depending on the grant funding we get and the architects that come up with, there's still the possibility of doing outdoor courts. This is a first blush to try and move us forward. I don't think any of this is set in stone.
Well,
That building plan was something that was drawn up by a couple of folks and said, here's something to start with.
And quite honestly, your comments tonight become part of the public input
all I'm doing.
Yep.
No, that's good input,
Is,
but
is placing a concern over having everything in one building. Because then you have, okay, well, I wanted to play basketball. No, we were planning on playing pickleball or tennis or whatever, you know? The other thing that's a concern is the rafters. I mean, it's an issue now. When you play pickleball, the ball goes up and hits the rafters.
the
So,
facility won't have those issues.
okay.
Yeah. And again, thank you for making the comments, because I believe they're actually the first comments that have been added to the public hearing since we started it. And they will be considered and applied to the minutes. So thank you, Peggy.
And that's all I was,
Oh, yeah.
No, that's good stuff, but from a standpoint of facility.
And trust me, after listening to the uses over at the county, outside the county courthouse where the pickleball shares the tennis courts there, I get it. You know, there's, if we have the money and we can do it, it would be nice to have the separation. So let's put that in the wording.
Lighted lines.
Yep.
Check.
Any other, what's that?
Could have lighted lines. Well, you do it other places. We take them all, go hit the motherboard.
Anything's possible. Any other comments on the public hearing?
I think we just all need to share. And as a basketball player and speaker, it's like I'm willing to share the facility with other people. I don't think that all of us need to share, and then we're gonna have a separate pickleball court for pickleball players because they can't share with the basketball players and the hockey players. I have to have a sign-up sheet. One day a week is pickleball, another day a week is basketball.
Depending on funding and what we can achieve, you might well see that. So,
it's just
Yep.
concern.
yep. And again, all of those comments. Again, any other comments? And I'm not trying to shut you down. I just, I'm thankful and amazed that we finally have some comments. Part of the public process. So hearing no others, would somebody like to entertain a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Made
I'll
by
second.
Tim, seconded by Dan. Other comments? Again, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And Herb is a part of the legal meeting. You couldn't get back, could you?
No, couldn't.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
I think we already did that.
Yeah.
I meant to say all approved. All right, now we need to get an engineer. Moving forward, find out what we can do. It's good to have that in place. Communication update, anything wonderful to share with us, Danny?
The bids went out for Herkimer County for the tower work. And they're back and they have awarded it. And I guess in the spirit of working together with communities, both Hamilton and Herkimer will be have to be using the same contractor, and then we'll be working simultaneously on both towers. So that is actually scheduled for this month. No, I'm not kidding. But it does not include all the equipment that comes from Canada, which I have no idea what the time frame is on that.
But anything they can get done at this point in time, they'll do while they're on the.
Kind of stuff you really don't want to be doing in January.
Yep.
So that they could get the equipment and truck it up there if they really were motivated in January and hook it up.
Very good.
Yep.
That's huge, and it's nice to see the two counties working together on that.
They seem to be talking, and they have their engineering meetings starting back up again in Hamilton. They have you probably know more about that, but they have more budget coming, and they've rehired their engineers, so they're back at work.
I know Don Hale has been helping with the Herkimer County end after you helped get him on that, and Tim O'Neill in Hamilton County is a breath of fresh air. He's been absolutely wonderful to work for, and that's been stated at the last 3 county board meetings.
Great.
I have a question for Danny.
Okay.
Have they recently put a big white dish up there?
Last year.
It's been there the whole time? Must be, it's more noticeable because the leaves are coming down or something?
Yep, could be. Well, no, because there's no leaves there.
It's
Above the leaves.
the microwave dish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just recently noticed that. I never noticed it before, but it stands out like a sore thumb. I don't know, it just,
It's part of the through communication that they're trying to create a loop. Right. But yeah, I had hoped that it might have a little different color on it, and I'm guessing 3 years from now, it might have a little different color on it. But, yeah, especially since it's different, it stands out, and they took some branches down to place it there. So but again, originally when we started this process, we were talking about a lattice tower with, a normal tower. It's still enough of it tricks the eye. I wish they had different style branches on them if they were really trying to hide it, but it's for what it's going to do, and we're hoping it's going to work. Sorry, it stands out.
I mean, I think after a while you just get used to it, but, and it was just something that caught my eye recently.
It's a recent change. Anything else for communications?
That'd be
That's good.
big enough.
That's big enough. Nothing else for communications at this point in time then? Okay.
I know everything,
All right. Moving on. Planning board updates.
Yeah, we're
Nothing.
still working on signs and noise and comparing other towns.
Very good. All right. Parks, building codes, assessor information is attached to the agenda. Anything you want to point out from information? Successful programs.
A couple successful weekends, yeah, events, fall festival was fantastic. The weather definitely cooperated with that. It's almost completely booked for next year already.
Wow.
We have 11 of 78 event spaces already full, or that are open.
That's incredible.
January 1st, people will be able to fill up those 11 spaces. Kids Day also was a great day. Gave out 207 bags, had 63 kids fish. Nobody fell off the dock. It was all good.
It's all good. Very good. All right. That brings us to trails. Still, are you gonna have any time to meet with Hannah in the next week or so?
Why does she want to know?
She would like to meet Hannah. We've had a request to really take a look at the recreational easements. I've still got it on the agenda here, but we haven't had a chance to sit down and talk with a couple of landowners and see what needs tweaking before we pass the budget. On that, I also rode with Chip Sauer yesterday on the new trail that he's been working on for the last month because the weather has been absolutely perfect for doing trail work. Wow. You can see Limekiln Lake from the top of the hill. You can see 6th and 7th Lake from the top of the hill. You had a chance to ride with him a week or so ago.
Meeting.
Before last meeting. The difference he's made on that mile loop, it's pretty impressive.
Did a ride along myself.
Oh, did you? Okay, so that's right. You did the ride along. It's going to be a really neat trail. That said, I want to preface that with it's still going to need heavy snow to open it up.
He's stuck on one way.
Yep. And you still have a little bit of bald spots and some iffy terrain. So it's going to be in much better shape than the FX Mats Trail. If we could do the FX Mats Trail, what he did to this trail, unfortunately with that crossing state land, we're limited as to what we can do for improvements on that. But if we can get half the snow we had last year, it's going to be an unbelievable ride up there.
Have a name?
Not yet, but that's I don't know. I think we already have Lakeview Loop, so
Outlook Loop, we talked the other day when we.
Outlook.
But we don't, I'm not naming it. I just.
But again, it's a loop ride, but it's well worth the ride.
You know how many miles it is?
It's just about a mile.
9/10.
Yeah, and granted, it's a loop, so it takes you back to where you started. But it's worth packing a lunch, parking on the side of the trail where you can see something up there.
I've got something to say.
Doesn't really take back to where he started.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Still an inlet. You're not going to into the plains. You're not going. Yes,
It's quite a grab.
maybe I prefaced that wrong, but
Yeah.
and I want to reiterate: pack a lunch, not certain beverages. Did I say that out loud? Town clerk report, Tag, you're it.
Really, the only thing I have is my revenue report, which was $30,659.50. 20,742 of that goes to sewer or sewer rents. That's it.
You didn't want to talk longer?
No, I'm good.
Library post office building concerns. I've had a couple of conversations with two people at the library. I see Joanne is here in the back, and other representatives of the library are here as well. I have updated the board on some of our conversations that you're losing your tenant from upstairs. And the board, I believe, is in agreement to waive the rental reimbursement fee from that space and let you retain that space if you can have a future use for it. If you can't have a future use for it or don't decide one, maybe we would take a look at doing something different with it. I know Herb's sitting in Florida right now, but he suggested an Airbnb, but that would be on the town, not on you guys. Did you want me to put those words in your mouth, Herb?
Sure, sounds good to me.
Okay.
It's a historic building. You could really sell it. Anyway,
But understanding the fact that that would probably take a minor investment in, putting a new bathroom and a kitchenette up there. I don't think the library wants to be in the position to do that or become a landlord for that type of thing, if I heard correctly. And the other thing is, when the tenant moves out, we will be taking the electrical meter into our name. So you won't have to worry about that. And I believe that the tenant, he's sitting right here, has agreed to do the winterization on the plumbing is on the way out, so that won't have to run the propane up there either. I'm hoping, does that answer all the concerns that we had?
The door.
I think you're gonna talk later about the door, or no?
Well, we started talking, well, it's all part of this right now, the post office building, the whole building concerns. I believe we're of the opinion that for the post office door, we'd like to see a newer, lighter door swinging differently, but probably not an automatic opening door. There's problems with the fact that you've got a sloped entrance. Where do you put the button, inside or outside? It's too small a place. Quite frankly, the post office box area is just an alcove in and of itself. It's too small to consider. Now, I know you guys were looking at a possible easy opening door, but an automatic door, and you got a quote for one. I know the quotes that I was looking for, a shared service quote came through Jefferson County that Hamilton County has adopted is $15,000. In discussing with the board earlier, the county has had 2 or 3 different automatic opening doors on different parts of their property. They all break down. I get the thought behind wanting them. I just don't know if they're worth it. And I don't mean to poo-pot, but $15,000 seems awful expensive. I think your quote was more in the.
Yeah, Jennifer can help you with that. That was something that would hook up to our existing.
Okay. So, and that would be probably more doable. Were you looking for help with the money for that?
Sure, yeah.
He asked and immediately wished he hadn't. No.
You know.
Did apply, Jennifer applied for a grant, so we do have 2,000 ourselves so far.
How does that work on an existing door? The door works the same. If the thing's inoperable, you can still use the door as you normally would?
Yeah.
Or does it, it's not like going to jam up or?
Who did you get that from?
And I can give you that information. This gentleman out of Stanley Access Technology, and they have a lot of different doors. So if you're looking at lighter door, so they do a variety
Oh, okay.
of doors and accessibility. So easy to work with.
Okay.
I did notice that the Old Porch Library is just a regular glass door, and it is a lot easier to open. It's not automatic. So are you talking about both sets of doors? No, just the outside door. The heavier one. Just inside.
Oh, the inside door.
Right, the outside door is opens easily. It's the inside door that's a lot heavier. So
Bonnie, you said that you had put out a couple, inquiries. One is not.
One won't even come to the area. It was Rochester. The other one was J&M, which Cliff, our chief, had gotten a bunch of quotes for doors and they thought they would do it. And they got back to me today and they're not doing commercial doors at all anymore. I said, well, what if we, I mean, I don't know how commercial it has to be. I mean, if it's a light door.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why I asked who you did, because I could reach out to them and.
And also thinking about, backup generator.
we weren't, but I know that's a big concern that Parks might have. Oh, it'll, just about generate.
Yeah, when we first started talking about it, the problem is the 3 meters. Yeah. And obviously now if there's nobody on the second floor, it's 2 meters, but it's still it's a trickier situation. And we took advantage of the fact that we were putting the sewer district in when we did the remetering of the whole town property here so that we could run the generator when it comes on for the sewer plant, it runs the whole campus. It was a little too far to dig a line over to the post office to put that in, but it's quite expensive to have that kind of metering and throw switch. Still looking into it, but we're in the early parts of our budget process, and the stuff I hit the board with earlier tonight is going to cost a little bit of money. We've got an aging compactor up at the transfer station, and we need a new roof here. There's only so many things you can do each year, and a generator would be nice, but I think it falls on the 2-year out plan, unfortunately. But as far as the door, I think you've got a $6,000 gap now with the $2,000 grant you've got. If we could find $3,000, would that help?
Yeah.
If we could find $2,000, would that help? Oh. Yeah.
Well, look,
The grant,
It was that Lake Placid Foundation.
Lake,
Foundation, and
is that the name of it, or are you talking about the Adirondack Community Foundation?
and it was through the Adirondack Generous Acts. and
Okay,
then
so it is the Adirondack Community
Then
Foundation.
they have different grants that come up. and
Right.
This was specifically the Lake Placid Foundation. But I can give-
Yeah.
Are you looking to have that door opener installed this year or next year?
We decided to wait.
To wait for money.
Wow. And now will depend on, when the vendor's available, electrician's available, so.
Well, it makes a difference for us with the $3,000. If finding it in the budget this year might be problematic. Adding it to the budget next year can be done, but everything affects that tax rate.
See how we make out with our, $500 a month waived, that's a huge help.
Okay.
If you want to give us money this year, that's fine.
I'd be able to give you a better answer, I think, at the November meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you and your Rob and, and Bonnie, yeah, you share that information or possible grants or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would be awesome.
And maybe more quotes, and then that way we can work,
Right.
Not more quotes on the door, but more quotes on even a generator situation.
Right, the whole thing.
Peggy,
So are you still working on replacing the door in the post office?
and in conversations for doing that, yes. And again, if we probably won't open out, it will swing in the other way. It'll swing into the center of the room.
Into the boxes.
Yeah.
hinge it on the other side.
That way, as people are trying to get out of the weather, they can walk in. It's
Why wouldn't you do it open out? Is there-
just in case it's slippery. The number of times during the year where there's weather impact outside, I think it's easier to open in, and then as you're walking out, pull the door towards you. It's a location where it's at along the roadside. I just think it's easier getting out of the stream of traffic, the public traffic, walking traffic, whatever, having that swing in. And it's whatever door we put in would have a glass pane in it so that you're going to be able to see who's on the other side.
Yeah, people are gonna, I think people are gonna walk, it's the same thing. You're gonna hit people with the door when you're coming in. You're just gonna hit them the other way. I don't know.
It depends on whether you can have it as you install it with a stop point on it, so it doesn't swing all the way open, so it opens.
That'll be much better.
Yes. Anyway, it'll be an improvement. But again, now that we're not looking at possibly doing the automatic door, it's still looking at lighter doors, quite honestly, better hinged, and or it can still be a heavy door. Like you said, down at the library in Old Forge, it's an aluminum and glass door, but it's hinged right and it swings right. So that's part of the easy opening on it. But yes, all right, that's it on the library post office. More in November on that. We did meet today on town budget. We're probably about a third of the way through the process. I believe we have another meeting scheduled for next Wednesday at 5 p.m. And we may be moving that meeting. We're missing some information from our software that I really would like to have to get a better handle on moving into next year. So that may be pushed out a week. Look to the internet to see what that says, or a notification at the post office. If it's been changed, it will be posted there. Otherwise, we will be meeting again at 5 p.m. next Wednesday. So looking to talk to the APA and the Eurasian Milfoil. I just left it on here as a placeholder. And the payroll program update. Quite frankly, not happy with our software provider on this. It wound up dumping too much work back on the town clerk. I'm going to be taking back on 2/3 of the work, the posting of the data and the ACH, the bank transfers, and some other things. But our software company will be handling, working with New York State Retirement and the state and federal filings. Is that a fair statement? Okay. And no, the payroll program did not do this to her arm. But it dumped way too much work on the town clerk. I have nothing for executive session, so that takes us to our last public comment of the night. Anybody in the public have anything else they'd like to state? John?
I'd like to just take a few minutes here and acknowledge Sean Hansen tonight for his willingness to engage in a conversation with me a little bit over a year ago concerning what could be done, kind of solutions we could come up with to work to get some of the debris off the ice during the winter months. And that started actually with a conversation that I had when I reached out to the Maintain the Chain folks, wanted to learn more about their organization after seeing some of the neat things that they were doing, and talked with them. They got back to me, were able to come up with some funding, and brought to my attention that the funding would be available, and it hasn't need to reach out and see who would want to have the conversation about what could be done in regards to any debris that's left out of the ice. So they reached out to Sean, long story short, and my conversation with Sean was pretty simple. Sean, I don't know where this is going to go, but I'd like to get your input how maybe this could be accomplished. And Sean was very receptive in having that conversation, thought about it a little bit. He said, you know what, let me think about that. Let me get back to you. And let me think this over. There may be something we might be able to do, but can't promise anything, but let me work on it. So he got back to me a while later, came up with an idea. And here it is now. An announcement was made in the past week or so that, and Sean could probably tell you more about it at some point here, but there is now going to be a trash unit placed at the Fourth Lake Boat Launch, which is really cool. So in the winter, people that are out there, recreational enthusiasts enjoying the ice, if they see something out there that gets left behind, people don't have to cart it around all day. There's a place now where it can be disposed of. We can get it off the ice. It doesn't get embedded, doesn't end up in the lake. I think we can all can agree that that's a good thing. to protect our lakes. And I think this is, it's a project that's moving forward, and I think we're right now in the final phase where the signage is being completed. And again, just want to thank Sean and for working with me, to make this happen, and we maintain the chain and the DEC. I don't know, Sean, if you want to add anything to that, but I felt it was important to bring up tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, after our conversation, I trying to figure out a trash receptacle, and just nothing really great stood out. So I asked Mike from Parks about using one of his trash bins for that, and he agreed to it. And we're gonna put that down there. The sign came this week, yesterday. The sign came, so we have the sign. So it's just as soon as winter sets in, before we start plowing it, and the season is upon us, we'll place the unit down there. I don't want to put it down there too soon because it's just gonna get filled with household garbage and stuff from the boat launch. I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but still, that's not the purpose of it. So it'll be there, and put the sign up. Got the blessing from the DEC. They have no issues with it. They're pretty happy.
I would hope not.
No, they're pretty happy that we're gonna do this. Yeah.
I like the fact that you're not putting it down there right away. That would have been my only other concern is, if it's snowmobile accessible only at some point, that makes it for what it's going to be for. So that's perfect. And I've seen on Facebook in the last couple of days, the postings that either your group or Maintain the Chain has been putting up basically pack it in, pack it out, but in a nicer statement for on the lake. If you take it out there, bring it back.
And there's incidents too where tracks blow out in the lake, belts, things like that, and it's just gonna happen, or lunch debris.
Yeah.
Left behind. So I just think this could be great for them too, because if this could be a successful pilot program, there's a huge opportunity where they can spread that campaign to other communities, other lakes, and something everyone should be proud of. And again, I want to thank the town of Inlet for even being receptive to have that conversation and take it seriously that it's important to protect the lakes. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for putting your heads together, both of you.
Sure.
Anything else? All right, our next meeting is on the 12th of November. I believe we will probably be presenting the board budget for passing at that night. I have nothing, like I said, for executive sessions. So motion to pay highway as presented earlier tonight.
So moved.
Second that.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to pay general and sewer as presented earlier tonight.
Offered.
Second.
There you go. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried. Motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Second.
Oh, no second on that one? No baseball fans on this side of the table.
Super sport.
It's 1-1, right? Yeah, 1-1 still, I guess. I have not been staring at her computer. Folks, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for the public input.